Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. So today I'd like to share with you there is one thing which is we need to avoid if we really want to learn something from traditional Chinese martial arts, from Qigong or Buddhism. So what is this thing which we want to avoid? I call this thing the God's middleman or the halo of God syndrome. Halo spelled H-A-L-O, like the light halo. So what is this middleman of God or halo of God syndrome is about? Well, it is about like if I study with a famous grandmaster, then I know it all. So it makes me the middleman of God. So I'm going to judge everything because I am the middleman of God. Okay? For the reason that I am the student or I'm related to such and such grandmaster. Okay? And this is also the halo of God syndrome, where because I have some relationship with a certain grandmaster, I also inherit his halo. So I am the God. I am the middleman of the God. Whatever I spoke is whatever the God mean. Okay? We need to drop this kind of stuff. Otherwise, we will not be able to really learn something well in traditional Chinese martial arts, in Qigong or in Buddhism. People who do get to the way or follow the way of the halo of God or middleman of God will always can tell you about story, legends, but not technically. Okay? So what inspired me to share with you today on this topic is because last night I just shared that my new book, the Chun Inception, is coming. So just for that, because I share, then right away I get many critics. Okay? Some of the critics read this way: this is total rubbish. I would like to know who are your teachers that make you look so foolish. Well, the first thing he said that this Chun Inception is rubbish. The second is he even go insulting my teacher. Of course, me, right? So this person or this type of person is acting like he is the middleman of God, or he have the halo of gods. What he doesn't know is Chun Inception is to bring the 1850s, the core of Wing Chun, the Xiu Lim Tao, into sports science, which is it fit into the others heart rate zones. Okay? So that way, the practitioner of Wing Chun know, if we want to fight the MMA guy, we better have the training in Zone 4, Zone 5. Like our best friend Xi Xiaodong, who train here. Okay? Legends won't help us there. My grand teacher can fly, doesn't help us there. Okay? There is cardio, there is oxygen intake, all sorts of stuff, and momentum play, serious momentum play. Qi, internal, all those legends, all those labels doesn't help us there. Also, in the Wing Chun Inception, the books, if anybody claim that they practice Qigong, the Qi in Wing Chun or traditional Chinese martial arts, which is in this zone, then guess what? One ought to be able to measure it with the heart rate profile or heart rate variability. By the way, this is Polar Vantage M. And if you are professional, you want to get here and do the orthostatics test and so forth, because you need that to see the body recover or not, then you want to get the Polar Vantage V. Okay, I'm not a spokesman for Polar, but this is good professional device that you can track your heart rate variability, you can track your resting heart rate, your breathing, and then your orthostatics test, like a serious sportman. Okay, so with Wing Chun Inception, there is no more hello of God or middleman of God speaking. Either one be able to do it or not. If one not be able to do it, then one better seek coach who can do it. Because when we go learn some art, it's an education. Like I want to learn Qigong, it's an education. I'm not going there for to have this hello from this grandmaster. Or then after 2 years, because I have the hello of God, I become the spokesman of God too. No, it is not. You need to have this. Otherwise, you cannot face the questions of Xu Xiaodong. Today we see Xu Xiaodong have his video in YouTube. Look at it, okay? So of course, people is going to criticize and don't like it, because this is a scientific way. There is no middleman of God. There is no hello of God. Either one can do it or not. If one cannot do it, one need to study. It's based on science. Okay? Now, let's look in the reality. Say in Wing Chun, you look at those in about 60 years ago, like in the Bruce Lee time. Didn't Bruce Lee do not have this hello of God syndrome or the middleman of God syndrome? Didn't he research out his scientific to make who he is so he can stand on his feet? Look at many other Wing Chun grandmaster. Didn't they modernize Wing Chun with scientific base? There is no this hello of God or the middleman of God syndrome. But then something go wrong due to movies and all kind of stuff, this internal legend, that internal legend, and then you feel a lot of people with this become this hello of God's or middleman of God's syndrome. Just look at it. Look at Bruce Lee. Did Bruce Lee have this middleman of God or hello of God syndrome? Or he stood on his feet to investigate every small details? Look at his book, read his book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Look at him search out different arts and learning different arts. Because he's not knowing it all. That's why he learned all these things. So read his book, right? So Wing Chun Inception is getting this in. Why? Because your competitor have already have this. And you cannot be like, oh, you know what? I have mind power. I can sing qi to Dan Tian. While the MMA guy, the sport, the fitness guy already using heart rate variability, coherence training, and all this scientific training to develop their body. And then we still can sit down there, oh, you know, I have this halo of God. I heard from the middleman of God. If you go this way, you do your sets as long, then you will get the magic. What people want shortcut always love those halos of God and middleman of God stuff. But look at the MMA guy. Did they have shortcut, or everybody train hard and they know what they are training instead of sitting down there keep talking about legends and who is the middleman of God, or I'm the bigger middleman of God than you. In fact, this halo of God stuff or the middleman of God stuff, there's a classical case 1000 years ago in China. And this is a very famous one in Zen Buddhism. And this story tells you there is no such thing as halo of God or middleman of God. So if you read the Six Patriarchs Platform Sutta, the key, the critical, the core sutta of the Chinese, the Chan or the Zen. So you have this group of people who study with the fifth patriarch of Zen, and we lead by Shen Xiu. That's one of his students, the older student. And then you have the sixth patriarch who come in as a layman and being there studying with the fifth patriarchs. So the instant the sixth patriarch got it, got the science, got the technology, the fifth patriarch sent him away, saying that you better live here and go this place, and you know you develop your stuff, because you don't want to stay here, it's dangerous for you. Okay? Well, the other student like Shen Xiu, he had now, according to the halo of God or middleman of God theory, he is the know-it-all, right? In fact, Shen Xiu even become the emperor's advisor. Okay? But who have the technology? It is the sixth patriarch Huinan who left already. Not these people who brush their wing with the fifth patriarchs, and then with all this title and everything in this fifth patriarch's monastery. And even the emperors recognized Shen Xiu, brought him and become the emperor's advisor. So that tells the reality of the real study, the real educations is based on hard work, scientific. It is not based on, oh, my teacher is this patriarch. I learned from this patriarch. Those middle man of God or halo of God syndrome type of stuff. Okay? So, be it from the sixth patriarch of Zen down to Bruce Lee, this is the reality. This is Chinese, isn't it? So, this is the issue. And of course, you know, people critic me, I just okay with it, because I'm not in those the religions, halo of God or middleman of God religion. I'm in education, I'm in scientific. Okay? We want to know what is the technology, and I don't want to be some God or something, or develop this halo of God or middleman of God system either. That's why I said you go check with your wearable, your heart rate profile. If you say you have Qigong, go check it. Can you drop your heart rate? Can you improve your heart rate variability? That's the minimum. Why? If you practice Qigong or internal or whatever for entire life and you cannot even show the result, the data of the heart rate, like the MMA guy, the fitness guy, the yoga guy on the heart rate variability, or the coherent trainings of the heart rate variability data, or the heart rate profile, what good is that? Lifetimes of following this halo of God or middleman of God. That's just a wasting of time. It's being really vague and not specific what you want to learn. Okay? So I share this with you. I know the Wing Chun Inception is going to rock the boat for many. It's just like the Wing Chun Matrix. Wing Chun Matrix is about momentum. The Wing Chun Inceptions is about the body conditioning. You look into what exactly happened with the Wing Chun in 1850s in the Siu Lim Tao. What is the content there? So everybody here on know what happened there and how is that mapped into today's sports science. So that, hey, we all invest on it. So we need to get result. Why do we want to waste our life on this thing? If we want to waste our life on this thing, might as well that we go study something, okay, like a religion, so that you become the middleman of God. Or just simply go to study MMA, because you get the skill. Instead of just get legends and halo of God, the certified of the halo of God or the middleman of God. Okay? So this is to share with you today. You know, today we praise Bruce Lee. We take advantage of Bruce Lee. Just face it, we take advantage of Bruce Lee. Didn't Wing Chun promotions is taking advantage of Bruce Lee? But when Bruce Lee is alive, just go check the data. How many people agree with him? How many people agree with him on his scientific way of doing things? And after Bruce Lee passed away, did people follow what Bruce Lee do? Or people go into switch right away into the halo of God or middleman of God syndrome? You study with me because I am the spokesman of God. Instead of follow what Bruce Lee teaching, what Bruce Lee do. So this is what it is. This is reality. We like it or not, you know what? History is going to record all this thing. And I don't want to be in the middle of this. That's why for me, the bottom line is sports science. The bottom line is impulse momentum. The bottom line is the variable which can show the data. So if I use the Polar Vantage V, it doesn't matter me or MMA guy. Heart rate is always heart rate. Heart rate variability is always heart rate variability. Momentum is always momentum. That disregard of his BJJ, Thai boxer, or Wing Chun, or Kyokushin, or wrestler, or Western boxing. Period. So it's make it easy, and this is the honest way to evaluate ourselves. We know our strength, our weakness, thus we can learn. Didn't Bruce Lee do that? If he's not doing that, how can he be this good? So this is to share with you. I know many people might not agree with me here, and that's fine. But you know what? You can disagree with me. but I don't call out your teacher. Okay? If you talk about the traditional Chinese martial arts, you want to talk about Mo Tak, the ethics, you don't do that. In the old generations, even people Gong Sao, okay, they fight secretly to test out their skill. Whoever lost, the winning one will never talk about the lost part's style or who's the teacher. That's the rule. And this is fit to General Qi Ji Guang's teaching. You test out the skill. It is not about making this big deal on win or lose. You want to know if this technique works or not. If it's worked, why it is working. If it's lost, why it is losing. That's called Mo Tak. If you don't follow this and then you start to become a middleman of God, that just show that you have no clue on traditional Chinese martial art ethic or Mo Tak. You don't have clue. And you don't have clue on what the heck's going on with the real traditional Chinese martial art based on General Qi Ji Guang, who fought in the battle and record in the history. Well, just as I always tell people, show me a grandmaster in traditional Chinese martial art for past 500 years who is better than General Qi Ji Guang. If you want to speak like a god or the middleman of God, show me one. And yet there's none. Okay, I can tell there's none in the history. So that's the reality. Anybody can disagree with anybody. Show the technical, show the reason. Instead of you start to say, like this guy, this is total rubbish. So, what is rubbish? It's all this thing which is the MMA guy and the fitness guy and the sport guy, the Olympic using is rubbish. I would like to know who are your teachers that make you look so foolish. What is that got to do with the teacher? Or maybe I should reverse it and ask, who is your teacher who teach you this moron? Should I do that? I don't, right? Because what we want is this thing. Is off topic. If you get to something else. Like in this Silicon Valley, you go to the design review. You look at the circuit, you say, hey, that current and that current, the speed, the feedback will have a problem. We need to simulate and then we need to check it out. You don't go sit down there and say this is rubbish. If you do that to any design engineer in the Silicon Valley, you get blown out of proportion. Okay, you get tear apart. People is not going to give you face that because you are a middleman of God or whatever. Even if you are CEO, those design engineers will quit or drop their resignation right away. Because who want to work with moron? And it's hopeless to work with moron. Okay? So it is technology. Wing Chun Inception is about technology, how you fuse the ancient and the modern. Why you want to do this? Why I want to do this? You have how many million of people who practice Yu Lim Tao in the surface of Earth? Wing Chun Inception is to make the practice, no matter it's proper or not proper, valuable. So the investments will give result. So one won't waste all this time. That is one of the reasons of writing the Wing Chun Inception. Because you know what you have, what you don't have, your strength, your weakness, you can make your investment have a lot of benefit to you. And then this investment actually is having the same standard with the Olympic people, with the MMA people. And we know And if I keeping training only for zone 2, zone 3 for health, I'm not going to fight Xi Xiaodong claiming that I know all this magic power. Okay? And it's all legit if I just want to learn that for my health. Why do I have to fight? What do I have to prove? Everybody is born equal. Why do you want to prove anything? This is just a tool. Wing Chun is a tool. Qigong is a tool. Buddhism is a tool to help us to live better. So this is to share with you today.